mention he getting roles anymore.
I've been watching MASH.
He used to be so handsome.
MASH is always good.
That is a good show.
MASH is great.
I haven't been watching much, honestly. I watched, actually, I would say the other night, I stayed up way too late watching that Jack Ryan on Amazon.
Was it good?
It was good until the end, and I just stopped because it like jumped the shark at this moment, and I was like, okay, this is fucking stupid. This makes no sense. So it was good until like the last couple episodes, and I was like, all right, this is a little much. I didn't even watch the last episode.
Little much.
But Krasinski's great.
Yeah.
He's just, I
He
like
got
it.
super buff,
Yeah,
too.
I like him as a
You see
like
The Quiet
semi
Place?
like action hero. No, I didn't see that.
It's a good movie.
I heard it was good though.
I'm like not. What am I watching right now? It's all like old
That
stuff.
show just made me miss DC because it's a lot of it's in DC. And I was like, this is the podcast before a precast, as
Precast.
they say it.
Like
Precast podcast. Oh.
Still get you pregnant. So I hear. I don't know. Knock on wood. All right, hey, welcome everybody. We are here on the podcast. We are out here. Well, I hope that makes it. And that definitely needs to be the. That needs to be the. That's the cold open for sure. That's really funny. I just spit all over the table. My bad. All right, and we're here. All right,
That
guys,
also needs to
welcome
be
back.
included.
Oh, that's fine. Welcome back to the Flick Your Bick Podcast Network. This is Flicking Your Bick with Ben and Nick, and Abby's back again. We let her back again.
I don't know
You
why.
know, I know. She just keeps inviting herself, and it's like, this is a guy's podcast. We're gonna talk about dude stuff, and
I know,
you come in here,
I do
all your emotions and all
My
your
emotions.
all your feelings. And, oh, you don't make as much money as we do. Oh no. The funny part is you make way more money than both of us, which is pretty hilarious. Anyway, so today's gonna be kind of a meta show. Actually, we're gonna be talking about talking.
Yeah.
You know, more specifically, the skill of small talk and holding a conversation. This is an interesting thing that we've talked about doing as an episode for a while. Just realizing how important a skill it is, and something that we both have a lot of experience with.
I'd say
I'm
so.
sure Abby does too. Well, you definitely do with
Sure.
your occupation. And how it's a skill that not everybody has, and I think we can offer a little bit of advice, a little bit of insight, try to help out your small talk game here. So, first thing I want to bring up is just how important of a skill it is and how you use it kind of in your everyday life. So Nick, do you want to start out?
Do you want to
Sure.
do flicking your big?
But first, this happens every time. I get so excited about the topic.
I was thinking like, okay, well, should I pop
Nick
this
was
at
just
the
gonna-
very
Nick
end
was just gonna
and
let
then
me do
ask it, and then I could edit it, and then put it in the front, and then
Nick just lets me go. Abby's like, you son of a bitch, come back. All right.
Come on.
But first off,
Come on back.
guys, what have we been flicking our bigs to this week? Abigail, you're gonna start.
Another band that I've been listening to is The National. And for some reason, they're like a nighttime band. So now that it's getting darker out sooner
There you go.
and it's colder, I
Hmm.
don't know.
That makes sense.
For like me,
What do
I
you
want to
mean
listen.
What do you mean nighttime band?
bedroom music.
It is not. So The National is like alternative, and it's not Let's Get It On.
Oh, okay. That's a good song, though.
It is a good
You
song.
should check it out next time.
I don't know. It's very chill, and I don't know. It makes me want to be.
We're talking like guitars, percussion, like synths. Like, what do we? What's like
Yes.
the vibe? All the above.
All-
Okay.
all-
Great. Well, there you
Yes.
go. Perfect. Well, you answered that very well.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If you want a nice nighttime band,
I don't know. It's like nighttime drives. That's what
nighttime drive. There you go. That
Yeah.
sounds like a Spotify playlist that I've clicked on before.
Probably.
Nighttime drives. There's
I have a nighttime
There's a
drives.
nighttime run playlist on Spotify.
Really?
It's pretty good.
That's
yeah.
kind of creepy though.
Yeah.
Well,
whatever.
I like running at night, but I run in the country, so I might get mauled by a wolf, and that's might be.
Yeah, I wouldn't
whatever.
recommend that.
That might
But
be whatever, but
I-
like in the city, I don't want to run at night in
I
the city.
still wouldn't do that.
Yeah. no, thank
I
you.
do have like a songs for the late night drive home playlist.
Okay.
That's
cool.
fair.
And it's on there.
I'll check that out. That's gonna be the description in the link here. We're gonna link your playlist. We're gonna be
All right.
Spotify famous. For me, I actually have. I think this is a first for the show. An anti-flicking your bick. So this is something that has been going on that really pisses me off. I want to talk about it. You know?
Okay.
So
Gonna get on your
as
soapbox.
everyone here in America knows, we have had some dangerous storms going on out on the East Coast, South Carolina, North Carolina, and just the way that storms are covered really pisses me off. Like, it's so I don't know, like theatrical and like constant, and people like view it as almost like a weird like sporting event. Like, oh, I'm like a storm tracker. Like, I like watching this stuff. Like, oh look, it's coming back, and like all the
Yeah, I know
super
what you mean.
crazy like graphics. And you look at, I read this article the other day, like how much money like on like ratings these like TV
Yeah,
channels
it's
are
nuts.
making off of
It's
it.
nuts.
And something about it just really bothers me, man. Like people are like, it's like disaster.
Their lives
it's like,
are being
it's like,
ruined.
Yeah, it's like disaster
Yeah,
porn.
there are people that are getting their lives torn apart.
And we're just like watching it as like a TV like
Drama.
thing. Yeah, it's like disaster porn. It's so crazy. Like I don't know.
Well, we're all like drawn to it though.
Yeah, because it's like, because part of you, I feel bad. Because part of you is like, oh, I want to like see how it's going. I hope these guys are okay. But then it's also becomes like this big spectacle thing that all these people watch, and they're like, oh
The
yeah, I'm a
drama.
storm tracker. Like I like tracking this stuff, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, okay, but let's not
Fuck you.
like monetize this whole thing. Like I don't know. It just something about it feels like gross
Dirty.
and yeah, I don't know. It really bothers me. However, if you haven't seen, check out the video of this guy. There's this
you
guy.
are a perpetrator.
Oh my god, this is so funny. No, this is hilarious because it kind of goes on with what I'm saying. There's this guy, and he's like doing like the report, you know. He's like, "Oh, I'm here and here, and the storm's 10 miles away," and he's like, it looks like he's like being blown sideways, like he's like can barely stand up as he's giving this report. He's like, "And the winds are really picking up," and he's like almost perpendicular. It's bad. And then in the background, you see these two guys just walking completely normal, just strolling, like nothing's going on. And it's like, you performative
Yikes.
bastards, like you're just like trying to. I don't know, yeah,
It's my
it's
favorite-
hilarious to see, but it's
my
also
favorite
pisses me
also
off.
when
so.
they get like hit by signs.
Yeah, that's pretty. There's just a general comedy to that. But then I
feel
saw a
bad.
link because I kind of went on a rabbit hole with that. There was, I think it was during Katrina. There was a news anchor person in a boat, and he was like doing their report, like,
And
"Oh,
there's someone
the
just
flood,"
walking
and someone
up.
just walking through. It's like not even to their knees. And she's like in a boat. I'm like, okay, guys, like
All right.
this is a little much. So yeah, that's been grinding my gears all week, and I just wanted to get that out to
Get it off
everybody.
your chest.
So yeah, apologize my negativity. This is usually a very positive podcast, but
There's your J. Jonah Jameson.
that's right. Give me pictures of Spider-Man. Yeah. Nick, what do you got for us this week?
At my job, I have the luxury of watching TV and getting paid to do that. So I have a lot of free time to do a lot of stuff. I want to talk really quickly about two shows that I've been watching.
Mhm.
One is called The Dragon Prince. What's
I
special?
saw that on Netflix. It's on my list, but I haven't watched it.
What's special about this one is it's made by the same people that made Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I'm a huge fan of that.
Which is coming back
Yeah, it's coming back to Netflix.
as a live show.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Live
I'm a little
show?
skeptical about it, but yeah,
That's
I
how
think at the
Seems
very
odd.
least it can't be worse than the goddamn movie.
That's true.
I tried watching that when I was
Yeah.
trying to go to sleep, and like first 6 minutes, like no, I can't watch this.
Netflix has both of us in a precarious position because I know how much you love Last Airbender,
Mhm.
and you know how much I love The Witcher, and that's gonna
Right.
be
Oh,
one.
yeah.
And I'm like,
Henry
y'all
Cavill-
better not fuck this
Henry
up. But they
Cavill
they
as,
they
yeah.
cast Cavill, who's actually a big fan of the series, so that made
Oh,
me
really? Okay,
yeah.
that's
Like
cool.
you should have seen his Instagram post. He was like doing all these like inside references about
Really?
it. But yeah, it's cool.
Very dope.
So
very dope.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna keep my expectations low.
That's smart. That's
but
very
yeah,
smart.
at least Witcher doesn't have any blaring things on their track record. At least not to my
Yeah,
knowledge.
no.
So I feel like it can't be at least worse than the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dragon Prince made by the same people who made Avatar, which
It's good, huh?
I liked it. It's first season. It's not too bad. It's a lot more kiddie than
That was
Avatar,
my next question. Okay.
which
yeah.
which Avatar is geared towards children, but Avatar is actually really dark if you really think about it.
Mhm.
But it was a little bit more geared towards a lot younger children, which
Mhm.
I didn't have a problem with it. Curious to see where they're gonna evolve and develop. The weird thing about this show is that it's running at like 15 frame. It's
Really?
it's a really weird art decision. It kind of looks really bad at sometimes, and other times looks okay. But yeah, that's pretty weird about that. So finished that. It was okay. Excited to see where that goes. The other show I've been watching is called Kim's Convenience.
Oh, I've
It might
seen
be
that.
Kim's Convenience Store, but it's basically a show about a Korean Canadian family that
Run a convenience store.
yeah, they run like
Cool.
a shitty convenience store in I don't remember what city in Canada they are
That's awesome.
in. But love the show. The dad's my favorite because he's like very very stereotypically a dad, but he's also Korean, so his accent's really really funny.
So they're like immigrants. Like their first generation?
The mom and dad, yeah, their kids are first generation immigrants.
Okay.
Interesting. What's it on?
Just
Netflix.
Netflix.
It's on Netflix too.
Yeah, I think it's
Netflix has so much shit. It's
It
insane.
does.
It's impossible to like keep up with
No, I have
anything.
no clue.
Yeah,
Oh, there's so
yeah.
much content.
I get so overwhelmed when I go on Netflix, and sometimes I just turn it off. Like, okay, I'm not watching anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what to pick. Like, it's kind of stressful.
Well, and then, or I'll just end up watching the things I always watch.
I try not to do that because I always feel bad when I do that. I'm like, there's all this other good stuff out here, and I'm just like rewatching, like, How I Met Your Mother or New Girl or something like over again. I'm like, okay, I need to watch or Sherlock. Or, like, I need to watch something new.
Yeah,
but then
also
but then
it's
I
like,
can't pick the new thing because there's all these good stuff.
It's so much.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I can never be done with it because they're constantly new stuff.
Oh yeah,
Right.
you'll never win.
No, and so, but I want to be done. Like, I want to cross it off my list and be like,
Mhm.
yep, watch that, done. And I can't do that.
No,
And so
never.
it's like constantly
Never.
like, ah.
Like when I was like, I've been meaning to watch American Vandal.
Mm.
I heard that's really funny. And I was like looking through stuff to watch the other night, and I was like, oh, I want to pick up this American Vandal. Oh, season 2's out already. Shit! Like it's a whole other season I have to watch. It's just,
So that's why
it's a
sometimes I
lot.
enjoy watching like the movies
Yeah, that's
because
true.
then I'm like, I know
you
it's
watch
one
this
and
movie
done.
and we're done. Yeah, that's good.
Mhm,
Maybe I should.
mhm.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I should focus on that more.
But
It's
I have
turned
to be
into
in
a
the
weird
right
little
mood.
therapeutical session
Yeah.
for all of us, but I like it though. It's very helpful. So Nick,
But-
one more time for everybody: the Dragon Prince, and then
Kim's
Convenience.
It might be Kim's Convenience Store, but
Either way,
Either
you
way.
should
I'm
be able
glad
to
it's
find
good.
it.
I kind of
Okay.
want to watch it.
it's really funny, especially for me.
Is it kind of like a? How to say this? Is it like more of like a straight
It's not
sitcom, or
it's
is it more
not-
kind of like absurdist, like Community style, like kind of off the wall?
It's kind of in between
Okay.
those. Like when I think of sitcom, I think of like Friends and How I Met Your Mother with
Mhm.
like the laugh
Mhm.
reel and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It
it's
doesn't
not
have-
quite. It's not to
no,
that degree.
No,
Okay.
it just have wacky adventures
Oh, yeah.
with the family and stuff like that. And I think I've never watched one, but I think they also added a little bit of Korean drama flair into it.
Yes!
Because there's a little bit of a drama story, a little bit in there,
Okay.
just a slight family feud in there, which that's actually like a really interesting plot point to like this comedy show. But yeah, I think with all those combinations together, it's a good show.
All right,
Cool,
like
alright.
guilty pleasure. I know we're not talking about that this time.
Okay.
But I have gotten into some Korean dramas.
I've never seen one, which is weird because I'm
and
Korean.
it's so annoying
Yeah, subtitles.
because subtitles.
Okay.
I don't know Korean.
Well, some people they're like, oh, if you use subtitles, like you're
Well,
you're like a real fan or whatever.
I don't like dubbed because it's
Mhm.
it's hard to watch and listen and they don't match.
Mhm.
So I'd just rather read. But anyways, but they like will end the show mid sentence.
Yeah, it's like
And
crazy
it's-
cliffhanger.
and you're like,
yeah,
Can you just finish the conversation?
yeah. I've seen
Like this whole show is dramatic and ridiculous. I don't need to
and there's like weird deaths where they like get hit by a car or something, and it's like super slowed down. And
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Oh god.
I've watched quite a few Korean
The production
dramas.
quality of those are really good, though.
Yeah, they are. Like it's ridiculous, and I feel ridiculous watching them sometimes, but it's fun.
Mm.
Man, whatever floats your boat. You know, we were just talking about how like overwhelming like streaming services and stuff can be. And I feel more overwhelmed because I have Amazon Prime
Oh,
using
same.
my parents' account, which has all sorts of shit on it.
So it's my
Yeah.
parents' Amazon, my Prime, and then my Hulu, and then my brother has
True.
HBO. So I have like all the
Ooh,
things.
I don't have HBO,
Yeah.
thank God, because that would be too much for me. I think because there's
Oh
a lot of
my
HBO stuff I want to
gosh.
watch. Yeah, it's a lot, man.
I only
And
do
then-
HBO for like Game of Thrones and
have-
Westworld.
They randomly have good movies on there.
Yeah, they have some really good movies on there too.
If you need a show, you need to watch Veep.
I've heard,
It's
I've
so
I've seen, or I haven't seen it, but I've,
It's incredible.
yeah.
Ju-
But, yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
like, I love her.
Yeah, she's
I want her
very
to be my mom, but I also want to like date her. It's
No!
really strange. It's weird because she's like
No!
kind of motherly, but also like she's really hot. Like I don't know. She confuses me, but she's
confuses me.
but she's amazing. I love her. Anywho, so back to the topic at hand here. We're talking about small talk and the skill of conversation.
We were just rocking that, just right there.
Yeah, see, this was a living example of that exactly. Though you can't walk up to strangers on the street and say what you're flicking your bick to because they'll think it's a sexual thing.
No,
So
you can
can't-
you can ask it
Yes, that's
in
true.
a different way.
Yeah, you can. That's very true. But so first off, we want to talk about just the importance of the skill and how we use it in our day-to-day
Yeah,
lives. I'm gonna
yeah.
start with Nick again. What do you got for me?
My job mostly involves me pulling staples out of papers in a cubicle, so I don't actually do too much talking.
Mhm.
Which I'll touch on that point
Mhm.
in a little bit because that's an interesting point. But I work on the 9th floor of a building, so I have to go all the way up and all the way down the
Mm.
elevator. So I get some interesting people that come on the elevator, which is probably the definition of small talk.
Oh yeah,
Getting
elevator.
stuck on
Let's say elevator
conversation.
pitch, right? That's the
Yeah,
term
yep,
for.
yep,
That's
yep,
exactly
yep,
right.
yep,
Yeah.
which I just recently learned about that terminology like a week ago.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah. So.
Hell yeah. Terrible high five, but you didn't see it, so it was awesome. Continue.
It was really cool. I'll add an explosion effect to that.
Nice.
Which is another thing is weird. This I'm probably like one of the youngest people that works in that building.
It's an interesting dynamic always.
Yeah, everyone else is like probably.
Abby,
like,
do you know about that?
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's about like a generation older than me, so it's somewhat hard to. I don't have a problem making small talk with them, but I think maybe they might have a problem because, like, how do I talk to this younger person? How do I talk to this youthful Asian person?
This youthful boy of color.
Yeah, this colored boy.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so it's pretty weird. Like, there's always the bullshit of it's another hot one day out there.
That's
kind
the
of
Midwest.
stuff like that. Yeah,
Always go to the weather.
that's the Midwest.
Always
Yeah.
works in the Midwest. Talk about the
It
weather.
does.
Yeah, I find
Can't go wrong.
I find lately it's very like along with the weather, it's seasonal. There's always something seasonal to like small talk. Like, have you been watching the Olympics?
Good one.
Did you see the game?
Yeah, college
That's
football. Yeah.
Just say that to anyone that like may
Oh,
be
have you done your
interested in it.
holiday shopping?
Yeah, holiday shopping, or just like I think I randomly did say to a guy that I never have seen, just like, you see the game the other day, and like he just like went off a tirade about the Nebraska game.
That'd be me.
And I'm just like just like nodding my head and just like yeah, totally. I honestly I've imagined that small talk for me more recently has become an effect of me not wanting to talk to them. Does
No,
that
like
make any
the
sense?
biggest part of talking, period, not even small talk, but like having a conversation, whether it's deep and meaningful or surface level, is the listening part.
Right, absolutely.
And I think not many people know that or want to do that part. And like you like that's the biggest part is
Sure.
actually listening and like asking meaningful questions. People love to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
That was my point. I was going to talk about. Quiet.
But yeah, like I kind of use small talk as a diffuser because I generally am slightly nervous about talking, so I'll like just I'll talk to make noise pretty much,
Yeah.
and I'll try to steer the conversation where they're like a dance, like they're the one leading, and I am just reflecting on it, so my responses don't have to be too grand. Like I'm perfectly capable of going into those deep conversations, but it's mostly just like making the other person feel just comfortable in a small claustrophobic elevator, and it's also helps me because I just move on with my day and I don't have to talk to people. It's kind of a weird. I'm not sure if I'm using this right. A catch 2020.
22.
22. There we go. But yeah, it's kind of a weird. Yeah. I don't watch The Office, so I
Catch 22.
I definitely didn't get that reference. But yeah, that's kind of how I use small talk in kind of a reverse way.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Oh.
Do you enjoy are you comfortable in the silences?
No, I
I
don't.
bathe in the silence. I love it.
I do too. I feel like I will like sit and then like people will try to fill it, so they'll just start talking.
That
And
works.
then-
That's a great tactic. I was another thing I was gonna
That's
say.
like something I learned like
let them
in
let them make the first move. Yeah.
newspaper. Like we're asking people
Yeah.
questions, interviewing them,
Interviewing people. Yeah.
and they're just like,
Totally.
just wait a beat.
Oh, yeah.
People will continue.
I like silence if I'm by myself.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if there's someone else, then like I just feel weird being next to someone and no one's talking. That's just me personally.
Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, Abby kind of stole my point a little bit earlier, but my biggest thing when it comes to this, so I have to do this a lot in both my jobs. So as a bartender / server, you have to be a personable, person and personable person. Weird. Catch 22. But yeah,
that
so they have
reference.
to like you enough that they want to give you money at the end of it.
Oh, for sure.
So that's part of it. but also I do a lot of door-to-door canvassing for my other job, and that is like the definition of a cold talk. Like you
That
go
would
and
give
you
me
knock
so
on
much
the,
anxiety.
it still does to me to some degree, but you get over it by doing it a lot, obviously. But yeah, you like literally knock on someone's door and try to start a conversation with them, and it's not easy.
That's like the most personal.
Yeah, it
you
really
can be.
is.
Like,
And
because
oh yeah,
my old job, I would go into people's homes, and every time
Abby was a thief. She would go in there and
I was setting them up with services, and so it was like really hard. It was so awkward because you would go in and like,
yeah, it's really personal.
oh, it's so personal.
Yeah, it's really awkward. But I have to like, convince them that like one, I'm not like asking for money or I'm like gonna murder them. I just want to talk about this candidate or whatever, get their thoughts on some, bond issue or something. And yeah, the ability to just defuse situations is really important in those. And my biggest key that I always find is people love to talk about themselves. So ask about them, and people will be like, oh, okay, cool. Like everyone is the expert on themselves, right? So you can always talk about yourself. I mean, shit, me and Nick do it on this podcast all the time. You know what I mean? Like that's
Another key thing that I like to do. Kind of goes back to an earlier thing. Talk about music because one, everyone likes music. Although there are weird people that don't really know too much about music and how to really talk about it. Talk about food.
Food is always good. Yeah,
literally, like nobody can not have food.
Yeah, there's universal things that people know and talk about, and some of it might be geographically based. Like in the Midwest, people talk about the weather all the time because it's always changing and it's always crazy, and we love college football here, so that's another big one. People always talk about that, but there are universal things everywhere that you can. Someone at least has some sort of knowledge about. You're not gonna come to the table and they're not gonna be able to get it back to you. I always think of it as almost like a tennis match. Like I'm hitting the ball over
exactly.
the net, and you gotta give them a nice, easy shot that they can still hit back over. I'm not trying to like serve it past their face. I want to rally. I want to give it back.
You're gonna
to
make easy lob.
That's right. Just lob that baby up there.
Which is interesting because that's how most people, or well, I guess that's how most conversational experts view Western conversation flows. Like parts of Asia, they refer to conversation as it's not tennis, but it's like they're just hitting the ball at the wall and it's coming back. So, for example, like if you're talking to your boss and they try to compliment you, a lot of Asian cultures will say, "Oh no, it wasn't me. It was just everyone." It was just it's very deflective.
Yeah,
well, and that's it's very
just reverential in general. Yeah.
I mean, it's reflective of the culture. They're very
exactly
communal. So, they're very individualistic.
There's different like flows to conversation, not just region, but just national or just worldwide. Like one of my kind of go-to starters for small conversation is, so what's for lunch? And then they'll just talk about their lunch.
That's a good one, man. I like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it'll be like either I'll see a guy like microwaving stuff, like, oh, what you eating there? Or like I'll see some people going to lunch. What's for lunch? And that's all. And they'll just tell me about what they're gonna eat. Like, cool,
dude. There's little I want to talk about more than food. So
yeah,
that makes
exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
The best gateway to talking.
It's like, Ben, give me your best barbecue reference. All right, here we go. Like, yeah, no, that's perfect. I really like that. So the other thing I want to ask is, how has the skill developed for you? Have you always been natural with it, or like what things in your past do you think like helped you with that skill? Things that helped you develop it, things that made you more comfortable, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Abby.
I mean, I don't really think I'm that good at small talk. Because I don't always like to do like the surface level thing. And I'm like, nobody cares about what I'm talking about. So, yeah, so like I will when I have to, but otherwise I'm really okay with silence. Like in an elevator, I don't know if I would necessarily talk to the person unless I knew that they were also like doing, like, I guess I went to a work conference and I could tell when they were also doing it. And so like we would have small talk then. But, okay. So the question was, how has it developed?
Yeah. Like what, like helped you develop that skill, or things that were influences on you in that?
Let's see. Well, I mean,
arena?
Definitely being a part of like speech in high school.
Oh yeah.
And
I tell everybody I know who's in like all the kids I know in high school like do speech. 100%.
That like gave me so many skills that I can't even imagine. Like even anytime I'm reading something out loud, like if I have to for
go-
work or
you-
something,
you
and
give a
like
presentation
for
for
high
yeah,
school.
giving a
Yeah.
presentation, all of that, it comes back to that, and it's just very helpful. See, even like newspaper. I feel like I did newspaper in high school. It's just like a whatever. I don't really
Come
care.
hang out with those cool kids. And
Yeah.
have parties.
Actually, I learned so
Oh, yeah,
much
100%.
during that time. Like in my job, so I work. I'm a director of a volunteer program, and so like I do a lot of stuff on computers that I learned like in newspaper. Like I write articles about volunteers, basically.
Shout out to the Rambler, baby. Let's
Oh
go.
my gosh. And then
Yes.
like conversation skills there too.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, like just all of those things kind of help.
Yeah, I didn't think about newspaper. That's totally true. There's a lot of that.
Interviewing process.
Interviewing people, and that's what I
Yeah.
basically do
Yeah.
for my job now. That's weird to think about. Yeah.
I know, because
Yeah,
you
but-
like I definitely didn't like take that course being like, yeah,
I'm gonna
this is
learn life skills.
This is gonna
Yeah.
be so helpful in my life.
Nah.
And
no,
it really
no.
was.
Yeah. No, I totally recommend that. Yeah, anyone who's young enough listening to this, do speech. Like, please God, do speech. It'll help
Or
you.
plays or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna talk
Support
about.
the arts.
Yeah, doing theater, I think, kind of takes away your, I don't know what the word is, anxiety, but like you just have no
Shell.
you have like no shame anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like you
yeah,
do
I get you. I
so
get
much.
you.
Like you're not gonna be embarrassed by anything. Like
Yeah, no.
I was at this work conference thing. We had to go like give little mini presentations, and there's like there's quite a few people. There's like 40 probably people there. We just had to go up and talk for like 5 minutes about like what our organization was doing, and everyone around me was like so nervous. I was like, dude, I've had to like kiss people on stage. I've had to do like this stuff like this is whatever, man. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not worried about this. I have to go up and like sing a
It's just,
heartfelt
like,
solo.
5 minutes.
I'll tell you that.
We're
Oh,
fine.
I just have to talk. I don't have to sing. Well, this is easy. You
Yeah,
know? Like
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, it really
Yeah,
is.
that's been just a huge help for me. I think I just have no. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Like what am I gonna do? Embarrass myself in front of people? That's the other thing.
That you're
I was
never
gonna
gonna
point
see
out.
again?
Yes, is just remember like oh I'm worried I'm gonna embarrass myself. Or I'm gonna say the wrong thing. Chances are you're never gonna see these people again. And if
They're
you do,
probably gonna forget about.
they're
you in
gonna
that
forget
5
about it.
minutes.
And two, if you do see them again, it's not gonna be in like a really personal setting. You might have another like set of small talk. Like it's not. I don't know. Just realizing the stakes aren't as high as I think people
You
make
see.
them to be.
Well, and like I just remember bombing a speech, just completely like not being able to do it, and like
Mhm.
couldn't remember any of the words, and like it was a speech that someone had already done, so
Right.
I had to like I don't remember what those were called. Anyways,
Oratory.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just completely bombed it, and I was, but like you do that once,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Okay.
all right,
Yeah.
let's
I
move
did
on.
it. Whatever. On to the next thing. Yeah. No,
It's not the end of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I think just keeping things in perspective, and also to remember that the other person isn't like judging or thinking about you. They're probably
No.
thinking the exact same thing you are. Like, oh man, it's kind of awkward. Maybe
They're
we
dealing
should
with
say
their
something.
own
Yeah.
internal.
100%. Yeah.
Or they're just like trying to pay attention to you, so they're not like hard focused on your mannerisms or
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah. I think just my three biggest things is one, it's not that big a deal. Just relax. 1 or 2. Numbers are hard. 2.
We're good at talking, not numbers.
Yeah, 3, 2, 5. 2, get them to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
That always works. And 3, listening is more important than talking, because when you listen, you can tell like what they want to talk about, and you can, like I said, bounce the ball right back at them. If they say some more interesting thing, you're like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Tell me more about that. Boom.
Mhm.
Tell me more about that. I say that all the time. Like that is the biggest helpful. Like
Yeah.
expound on that, or that's cool. Tell me more about that. That's money. People will go.
They eat it up
they eat
out of
it
your
up.
hand.
They sure do. That's a big one.
Nick, what do you think about like
As I've come to become an adult,
Mhm.
I've come to realize that everything comes back to Newman's Thriftway.
Everything does.
Everything
you learn
does.
Tell you everything you ever need
Oh
to
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
service jobs will do
Oh
it.
my
to
Like
you.
God.
like
yeah,
any
yes.
any TV show you watch that has like a that's centered around like a store or anything, the weird people that come into those stores, that's exactly Newman's
No,
Thriftway. Just the weirdest
that's
people.
not dramatization at
No,
all. That's
like,
100% true.
There was a guy that was asking me like, "Where's the mayonnaise?" Like, first aisle. I'm like, okay. And then a little bit later happens, he comes back. Can you get me mayonnaise that doesn't have dairy?
No.
I can't. You check the back. Grab the mayonnaise. Sure. Go in the back and like I just stand around there for 3 minutes. Sorry, we don't have any mayonnaise with any dairy. Well, you should get some. And he just storms off or something like that. Same thing happens to me with pickles and kosher because they want not
Kosher pickles.
They want not kosher pickles. Like,
Who wants non-kosher
I don't know.
pickles?
They're weird people coming into stores, so just having to deal with so many weird people, just like, all right, this guy.
Yeah. You realize the general absurdity of the general public, and okay, like this, I can deal with this.
Oh,
That move
service
of going
engineering.
to pretend to go look for something that you know is not there is the best move, man. I've done that so many
Like,
times.
what are you gonna do? Like,
They're
honestly,
like, go
what are you
check, and I'm
do?
gonna be like, I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna go check. So they'll get like pissed off, like, okay, I'll go look. I just like would go back in the back of the kitchen, and I'll be like, chef's like, what are you doing? I'm like, they wanted this thing. I know we don't have it, so I'm just gonna sit here and pretend that I'm looking for it. He's like, okay, cool. I come back, oh man, we're out. We ran out earlier apparently.
So
That's a
sorry.
clutch move.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast. Talk about the service industry.
Oh,
stories.
absolutely.
Man,
Yeah.
that's great.
Now, let me quickly ask a question to all you guys. Being that a lot of us have dealt with a lot of speech training and talking with people,
Mhm.
now, for example, I no longer do bagging groceries and carrying out and talking to people.
Yeah.
I found that there was a time where I didn't have to do small talk. That immediately when I went back to a position where it would benefit me to do that, I found that going back into it, I was terrible at
Oh,
small talk.
it's like any other skill.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask, have
Oh,
you
yeah.
found positions where your small talking skills have degraded?
Not necessarily, just because of everything, like all the jobs and stuff I've had, I've always needed it.
Sure.
So I haven't really been met with that opportunity, but I'm sure it would. 100%.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised how
Oh.
much like my skill at talking
Oh yeah.
small talk
Oh,
is like
it's a
diminished.
skill like
Yeah.
anything else, man.
It's
Like,
very
yeah,
surprising.
you'll totally lose it. Like
Mhm.
my cousin lives in DC now, and he like hardly drives ever because you don't there. You take the train. It's in a big city on the East Coast, and come back, and he was like driving around. And he was like, man, driving's kind of weird and tough now. Like, it's like you don't.
Yeah.
It's like any skill. You lose it after a little bit. It
Yeah.
just takes a little bit of practice.
Mhm.
Well, the nice thing about that is you can strike up a conversation with somebody anywhere. Like there's plenty of opportunities.
Oh,
You
for
just
it. Yeah.
practice and build it back up.
Exactly. But that's the thing with me though, like I think just because I have to do it so much with my job, when I'm out and about, like going to the grocery store stuff, I'll have like my headphones in. I don't want to talk to anybody. Like I am straightful. Like
Don't talk to me.
because I have to do it so much, I prefer not to.
Oh, yeah.
Unless it's like necessary.
I think that I feel like my skill quote on that has diminished probably. I mean, because I feel like it probably was better. I also feel like as I've gotten older, I've become like more introverted, and so that might be part of
I
it.
found that myself
100%,
too. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to deal with you.
I've
Like,
got-
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got enough friends. I don't need more.
Yeah,
I'm good. You know.
I'm good.
Absolutely.
No, I think that's just part of growing up. I
Well,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I've heard the term like introverted extrovert. I don't.
I
It's probably
like-
some
Yeah.
bullshit. I don't know if that's true, but
there's
I feel that
there's
a
a term
lot.
for it's called on the bird, which is both.
Mhm.
And that's where I think I am.
Yeah, definitely.
Like in a
Um,
situation with like a group of people, I can be very extroverted and like
Yeah.
be outgoing.
But I
everything,
also want to be home alone.
Exactly.
I
Yep,
need
yep.
my alone time where no one's talking to me.
Yeah,
I
Like both
100%
of those
need that.
situations feel great.
Yeah.
I want to go out and like do things because if I don't, I start to get all droopy and
Yeah.
sad.
Get all in my own head.
But if I'm doing that
Terrifying
constantly,
place.
then I'm
Mhm.
like just exhausted and I need.
No. Yeah, I think you're totally right though. That's just part of growing up. You're just kind of get tired of everyone's shit.
Yeah.
They
Some
don't,
degree.
they don't really tell you about that.
No, they don't.
yeah.
That's the part of growing up they don't tell you about. That's a whole nother show about how like high school and stuff is supposed to like prepare you for the future and how like
Well,
completely
ours certainly didn't.
how completely unprepared I was for anything.
I was not
Yeah,
prepared.
Thank God for my parents. I was like, okay, so bills.
Yeah.
Well, how does this go?
Yeah.
Yeah, like car stuff, finances. I still don't know what.
How to study?
I still don't know. I had no idea. That screwed me over so bad. I still don't know what a 401k is.
For wonk?
401k.
A four-
401. Hilarious.
He still he can't
See,
even
I didn't even get the joke.
No,
Exactly. I didn't even get the joke. That's exactly right. It's like they give you money, but you put it in. I don't understand.
Well, luckily my job has a pension, one of the few that exists.
That's
So,
exciting.
yeah.
Yay, government.
Woo!
Yeah. I'm for nonprofits. I don't get any of that stuff. But anyway, anything else you want to finish up with on that? I think we should overall sum up some of the points we had. For me, it was get them to talk about themselves.
Mhm.
Always works. Listen more
Mhm.
than talk because that will help you talk.
Talk about food.
didn't talk about food, dude. That's the best advice I've ever heard. I
Yeah.
can't wait to use that. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, you have
That's
lunch.
great. Anyone else?
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, tell me more about that. Is money. That's big time. Anyone else? Just summing up stuff
Small
that we
talk.
talked about. Dude, we're here for lunch. Is the best.
Well,
thing.
yeah.
It's so good.
What's for lunch?
What's for dinner?
That's so good. What are you eating there?
I feel like if you asked me that, I would just be like, I don't know.
Oh, I would go off.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, okay, so it's at this deli around here. You got to go there. You got to do. Oh,
I've asked people for goddamn recipes
Oh,
of what they're
100%.
eating because
100%.
it sounds so goddamn good.
Oh, yeah, man.
You gotta give me the recipe for that.
Yeah, people love that stuff.
Oh, and then they're all like proud and like,
Yeah.
you are my resident.
And then
Flattery is
they
great
will.
for
Oh,
small
flatter,
talk.
and they will
you
like.
the right amount though.
Right
I
amount,
don't want to be,
yeah.
kissing their ass, but they'll like you if they're like, you get done with the conversation and they've mainly been talking about themselves and you seem interested in that. They're like, oh, this guy's cool. He
This
likes
guy's
me.
cool.
He
Talk
likes
about
me.
that.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't even have to say anything about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it
I
takes.
like that guy. Like, what's his name? I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I feel like it takes people a good year to even
Yeah.
like know who I am.
And people who are listening, if you have any idea on how to help me get better with remembering people's names, please let me know. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
awful.
not the best
I'm
at that
so
either.
bad. I'm great with
That's
faces.
just time.
I'm like, I know that person.
Yeah,
They'll be like,
faces
I
is
do it all the
good.
time. We're like out and about to Emma. I'm like, I know that person. Like, from where? I'm like, I don't know.
I kind of think that's a.
I like-
I kind of think that's a guy thing.
Maybe. I
Ew,
don't,
it's
I don't
everyone.
know.
Really?
It's
Okay.
everyone.
I'm so bad at it.
I mean, like some people have an affinity for it.
The
Sure.
worst is when you're to a point where you have been around this person enough that you should definitely know their name by now,
Ooh,
but then you don't know what it
yeah.
is, so it's way too late to
Yeah.
ask.
No, what you do is
So you just gotta use
introduce them
pronouns.
to
I got
someone
something.
else.
Yeah, go ahead. I got something for
You
that too.
introduce them to someone else.
How can I introduce them if I don't know the name?
No, you're like, and this is, and then they jump in.
What if they
Or you just have your friend.
I've had.
See, because I've done this for people.
Mm.
Oh,
where
God.
I'm the new person and
Okay.
they like know and they're like, I don't remember their name. And I'm like, it's okay, I'm new. I can
Ask
do
them.
like
Ooh.
oh sorry,
What's-
remind me of your
that's
name
fine.
again.
Your name? Yeah.
That's fine. I'd say I think I've done that before. And this is, and then they didn't jump in. So
That's
that,
what I'm
that
worried
is
about.
terrifying.
Yeah.
That's my nightmare.
What I do is I'll go up to them and say, "Hey, sorry, what's your name again?" And then they'll say, "My name is Jazz."
No, what's your last name?
Yeah, and I'll say, "No, I'm sorry. What's your last name?"
Money. That's big time.
Cue Eddie Murphy meme.
I'm learning so much there. Oh god, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
know your last name. Or like how do you spell your name?
That's a great one too. Yeah, but then
When it's like
Ooh, I'm not good at
Abby,
spelling.
ABBY.
well, it could be ABBI. There's
People
like if it's
spell
a
shit
simple,
weird these days, you know.
But if it's like Ben, like how do you spell Ben?
How do you spell that? I'm
How do
like,
you spell your name?
like
There's a silent G.
B-E-E-N. Yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
Bean?
Oh,
Yeah, that's really good.
poor Calvin Baget.
Beaubaget. That's good. Okay, that's good. Those are helpful. See, you guys are helping me out. That's
but
the
like
worst.
that is another skill that you can build up
Oh,
is remembering
100%.
people's
Other
names.
people's
Yeah,
names.
yeah.
And there's all sorts of like things that you like connected to. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh, it starts with this, and then you have like a key characteristic about them. You match it. I've tried that stuff. Hasn't really worked out. But I'm a master of just using pronouns.
Oh yeah,
Like-
works too. What if
Hey,
they
man, or hey, bud.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, but some people aren't a fan
Or-
of that.
That's true. Or just I think of this. You don't have to refer to something. You can just say hello.
Yeah. you know,
Hello.
Yep.
You don't say their name.
You don't say
You know
their
what I
name.
mean? Yeah, and you can get I've gotten away with that for a long time. There's some
Hello,
coworkers-
man.
There's some coworkers I have no. I don't remember their
I have
names.
no idea
No
what
idea.
their
I've worked with them
name
for months. I have no clue.
That's
Hello,
funny.
fellow coworker.
Yeah. Hello, fellow kids. Yeah. That's
Have you
really good.
noticed that like serving though, you have to be careful about what pronouns you use?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
can
did that.
imagine.
I did that a couple times. One time I did it on the drive-thru at McDonald's. Dude had really high pitch, and but it was late. It was like midnight. I was like, "Thank you, ma'am," and I came. I was like, "I just want to say I am not a ma'am." I'm like, "Oh,
shit.
okay, sorry, Michael Jackson." But it was.
It
bad.
like serving started me saying y'all.
Oh, y'all's good.
I say y'all
You
constantly.
sound nice and folky too.
Because some people
Folksy.
don't like saying like, okay, around here in the Midwest, people say you guys a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like
Yeah, we're not
gendered
guys.
at all.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Did you just assume my gender?
Yeah,
I mean-
with that culture and
Mhm. That's very. I've messed up on that. I called someone the wrong gender.
yeah.
So bad.
So y'all works
Y'all's
great.
good. I like folks. Or
Folks.
say my big one is how's everyone doing tonight?
I'm probably the opposite of you. I'm a master of not using pronouns.
Mm.
So if
When
in
I
that
don't know
situ-
their name, I use it. all the
yeah,
time.
in that situation, I'll just like I'll like very specifically keep in my mind to not use pronouns if I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've trained myself in that with the bartending and the serving. I won't
Mhm.
say, it was like a group of ladies. I'm like, hey, I would be like, how we doing tonight, ladies, or something, but you get in trouble doing that. So I'm just like, good evening, everyone. How we doing? Like,
Yeah.
it works just fine.
Everyone.
Everyone, folks.
Folks is good.
Just say hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, fellow human.
Hello.
Hey, you guys.
Oh no, I was doing Book of Mormon.
Yes, I know. It's good. Listen to that on the way up here. Anywho, we're losing the thread a little bit, so let's go ahead and wind this down.
It's just small
guys,
talk.
yeah, but we're not losing the thread because we're showing people how to do small talk by doing it.
A creative conversation will just pop. Like it's like popcorn.
Yeah,
It's just
sure.
like goes.
Exactly.
And that is a creative conversation.
We're a creative group. We gotta say it all together.
We're just creative.
A creative group of cats. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Again, we'll be getting the podcast up on some different platforms. Please continue, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Oh, we should harmonize it. Bye.
Can you do it in normal tone, please?
Yeah.